Step 3, establishing a steady posture for meditation. The way he starts this is by referring back to what you've already done. The old saying in speech writing, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. You may have heard that. In speech, if you're giving a presentation, I don't know where I heard it, but tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So he starts by saying, once you have established a regular time for meditation and have learned to have an internal dialogue with yourself, the third step is to develop a steady and comfortable posture. And we haven't even started posture yet, and we had to do all of that other stuff first. We had to have a regular time and place. We had to show up somewhere. I'll ask people, I meet somebody nowhere near their home. If somebody's here, and I ran into them here, I'll say, imagine that you're in your house, okay? You know the rooms of your house? Yes. What room is your meditation seat in? Well, I don't know. Well, I said, well, pick a room. Well, I don't know. I said, but you have to pick a room. Well, I'll do it when I go home. No, do it now. Just sit there and think of the rooms. You got a room? Okay, I got a room. Which room is it? And they'll say, okay, it's the living room or it's the bedroom. I said, now, in that room, are you going to sit on a chair or are you going to sit on a cushion on the floor? I don't care which. Well, I'll sit on a chair. I said, which chair? I mean, I'm cornering them. Pick a chair. Pick a chair in your mind. Is it a separate chair that you've got around the house, or are you going to go to the store and buy a brand new chair that's only for meditation, or it's going to be one of your dining room table chairs that you're going to put in the bedroom? Got a chair? Yes, I've got a chair. And you know where it is. I said, okay, what time is it? What's your meditation time? So you have a chair, you have a place, and you have a time. And what are you going to do when you get there? I don't know. Well, what if you had said, mine, will you be my friend? Well, I could do that. You've got the beginnings of practice. And if we've done that even a little bit, then we can do this thing. Once you have established a regular time for meditation and have learned to have an internal dialogue with yourself, the third step is to develop a steady and comfortable posture. At first, you may be very steady but uncomfortable. I sometimes refer to this as, what do you call it? A paradox. No, an oxymoron. No, you're a paradox. An oxymoron. You know, oxymoron is two things that don't fit together, like they say honest politician, doesn't go together. And so steady and comfortable seem to not go together sometimes. I'm steady and I'm comfortable. Oh. But that's what we're working towards. Learn to sit comfortably with a steady and aligned posture. It takes a lot of work. But the important part to remember is that the goal is that it's steady and it's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, you can't do the next steps. If it's not steady, you can't do the next steps. This is where, if we're going to use it, this is where Hatha Yoga fits in. Now, I understand that there's two cultures of Hatha Yoga. There's meditation culture and there's physical culture. One is about physical health of the body, and this is a very, very good and useful thing. I know this is how we end up with having one time for meditation, and then later on we're going to do our Hatha. I understand that that's kind of where it comes from, because we're doing the Hatha Yoga for health benefits and all like that. It's a good thing. But for meditation, it's a different principle. We want the posture to be steady and comfortable. It has to do with the spinal cord. If you think of anatomy, physiology, it has to do with the spine. It has simply to do with the spine, that the head, neck, and trunk are aligned so that the spine is in shape.
The rest of the body doesn't need to be...
And the rest of the body is not causing problems. And somewhere in here and elsewhere, he points out that it does take some time. It's a simple observation, but a good, useful observation, that sometimes it just takes time for the body to be willing to settle down. So we're talking about step 3, establishing a steady posture for meditation. And Swamiji talks in here about some of the specific postures. And either here or elsewhere, he makes the point very clearly, a number of times, many times he's made this point, that along the way in his own journey of whatever he went through to make him whoever he is, he discovered later on that legs don't matter, arms don't matter, and that the only thing that matters is that your head, neck, and your trunk are aligned. And so in some sense, it makes almost any posture okay as long as we're getting the head, neck, and trunk aligned. In here, a couple things he points out is that the use of a chair to sit on is acceptable. But he also points out that somewhere along the way, sitting on a chair may not be steady enough. So we want to transition off of a chair and onto the floor. He makes the point that for those who can do it, Siddhasana, the accomplished posture, is the posture to use. He makes the point that the lotus posture is an exercise posture. It's not actually meant to be a meditation posture, because you can't do Mula Bandha so well in that posture. So many postures to practice with, but ultimately the bottom line is that it should be steady and it should be comfortable, and the head, neck, and trunk should be aligned. And so then you just experiment with it and find what works for you, and find people to coach and teach.